Well, hello everyone. We start our presentation, and our presenter is Hanul Kang, Taeyoung Ki, Kyungjun Kim, and Ye Jung. First, we want to explain why we choose this topic. Where as soon as we give birth from my parents, I become one of the members of the South Korea, and we are nurtured by Korea government's policy. And we experienced for 12 years directly. So we can account for you guys more better than other stuffs. For example, Hanul can say Korean education is very terrible. And let's dig in our PPT. And now, this is the content. And let me start with the Korean education history. Before the civilization built, there's no studying. I hope I become barbarian, so I cannot get stressed from struggling studying. And first Korean education system was built, which is written in history, is Taeha, the nation named Kogoryeo founded. After Samguk era, next, let's move on to Korea era. The famous exam Kago was established by Sanggi, who naturalized from China, and there are many structures and like famous educational institution Seonggyungan, which is descended to modern era. Next, Joseon Dynasty, which is based on the Yu-Gi-Oh, the field which Kongja, the very China smart scholar, developed. And this field is keep conquer our modern society. And second, Seodan was furnished. And now I will tell about modern education. In Daehan Dynasty, the first modern school named Wonsan Haksa was built, and many Western style class was introduced. And many missionaries come and build the school. And Japanese colonial era, the teacher holds sword while doing study. And before they have a class, they all stand in the playground and they cite many very bad summon. It was gloomy season on Korean education system. And next, Ye will explain other topics.
Now that we have talked about history of Korean education, let's talk about present Korean education. First, we will look at Korean public education system. After kindergarten, we should go school. All of kids go elementary school nearby. When they finish their 6 years study in elementary school, they go middle school and study 3 years more. Until middle school, it's compulsory education. After middle school, most of students enter high school. Their school can be regular high school, also can be special high school, like science school and foreign language high school. After 3 years study in high school, many of them, but not all of them, enter university for 4 years. So, you study totally 16 years, and if you want, you can do more. Let's move on to main features about Korean education. Look at this graph. It is about university entrance rate in OECD, and Korean ranked first in OECD, rating 79%. But by this graph, I want to say Korean passion about education is so high. Parents use a lot of money in their children's private education. Look at this graph. Graph says Korean's percentage of private education costs ranked first grade, but efficiency ranked 17th. It means excessive amount of education can make students tired, so efficiency decreases. Not only private education, but public education can make students exhausted. In Korean school, we study more hours than Europe and America. Even we study until night. It seems like Korean education is so bad, but not exactly. We can learn a lot of amount of knowledge, so quality of our education is better than other countries. For example, American students learn calculus in university. But we learn it in high school. Also, because of the amount of our study, we can get comprehensive knowledge. So, we can be good at many-sided work. And next, Taeyong will explain positive and negative things about Korean education.
My name is Taeyong Ki and it's my turn to introduce about positive and side effects of Korean education. And let's start with positive side. First, it led comparatively high results and greatly contributed Korea's economic development. And it also helped increasing level of education of Korean people. For example, about 80% of high school graduates go to college in Korea, and 65% of students at the age of 25 or 34 has bachelor's degree at least. It's far above from global OECD average, which is 39%. And as you can see in this diagram, college entrance rate of Korea is above average. However, it has some downsides. Now let's talk about these downsides. First, it's rigid and hierarchical, which causes lowering of innovation and creativity of students. And also, it's very competitive, and this is why Korea has such high suicide rate, because students are so stressed by studying. And it also caused oversupply of university graduates. As a result, nearly 3.3 million college graduates were jobless at the first quarter of 2013. On the other hand, overheated education fever caused labor shortage in many vocational occupations, and it became serious problem with lack of vocational education. Finally, since most students cannot learn about social life and vocation in high school graduates have hard time entering into society, and it caused them to be jobless. Now let's move on to solution of this problem, and Hanul is going to talk about it.
Hello, I'm Hanu Gang, and I'll introduce a schema of Korean education and our suggested solutions. First, schema of Korean education. As mentioned before, Korean education has excessive competition, and many people have high academic ability than other countries. These characteristics leads our education to double-edged sword. For example, these characteristics promote Korea's economy development, but make students' happiness index number low. Next, I'll introduce our suggested solutions. First of all, let's talk about policy. We think that we need policies for people who enter society after high school. It motivates people and prevents people to go to university without thinking about their future dream. Second, education and introduction. We think that introduction and education about other pathways except going to university in high school curriculum are important. In high school, There are a lot of students who studies to go to university just along the stream. Third, we think intensifying public education and removing ranks of universities are needed. It reduces competition between students and may solve the private education problem. In France, if students get a score which is just above specific standard score, they can choose university to go to. France gives students maximum opportunity to study by passing maximum students. We think that our education should change like this. Thank you for listening.